Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And today we like to talk to you about all these things that are going on in the world. We live in exciting times. Things are changing. Sometimes I feel that they are changing very fast. The other day I was thinking, well, how do these people feel like, for example, when the electricity was discovered and all of a sudden, you have the light bulb and you were used to a life that was much slower. You will wake up with the dawn of the day and then go around, then go to sleep probably at sunset, then wake up a little bit during the night, do something else, I guess, and then go back to sleep. And that was the pace of life. And then with the discovery of electricity, everything changed, right? Like with the Industrial Revolution, everything changed too, or with the invention of the printing, everything must have felt probably like what we are feeling right now, that there are a lot of wars going on and we seem to not getting along with each other. People is more irritable, people is always on their phone. I remember I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and actually among my friends I was one of the first ones, if not the first one, to have a mobile phone because I was working already and I needed to be reachable. I was a model, so the agency will call me to go and do the castings and all that. And but it was still okay, I had to be reachable all the time because I couldn't miss the opportunity. But then when the BlackBerry came out and then the iPhone, and I remember I refused to get an iPhone for many years because I didn't want to be a slave of the emails and replying so fast and this and that. But then if you don't keep up with life has a way to carry you. When you resist, that's when the change is forced upon us, and that's when it hurts. There are a lot of wars, there are a lot of false gurus out there, people that is telling you to think in a certain way, to feel in a certain way. And I think it's important to give this message. First of all, there is this rule, like you don't hurt other people, you don't hurt yourself, and you also don't allow other people to hurt you. That should be very clear. Now, we cannot change the world, but we can choose how we respond to all the things that are going on. We can choose the things that we put our attention to, because you know what, like energy flows where attention goes, and if we are putting a constant attention in the bad things that are going on, that is what it will amplify in our lives. So what is it that we want? Then we focus on that. I know it's difficult. I know some people may say, well, maybe you are lucky enough that you have a comfortable, nice life, and you happen not to be in a zone of conflict, and conflict exists everywhere. If you are not in a little conflict with something, then you may be in a little conflict with yourself. It's part of life. It's part of this duality dimension that we live in. We cannot appreciate or recognize good if we don't have bad, or vice versa. It's all the same thing in a different scale. For example, when we say love and hate, it's the same feeling, but in a different extreme. Although I don't believe in hate, I think hate is a byproduct of fear. So that will be more accurate, actually, to say that love and fear, although, well, you can be courageous enough and love too. I guess hate, for example, comes when you are either conditioned to that, or you love so much something and then somehow that didn't fulfill your expectation, and therefore you felt betrayed. Because we all have our filters, we all have our belief systems that, whether we like it or not, are shaping who we are and how we respond to the world, and or worse, how we can become reactive to things. And that's the goal, not to be reactive, but to act from a place of, first of all, awareness, and then to have certain values very, very rooted, like compassion or understanding. for the other one, you know. But yeah, if the other one is coming to you and threaten your integrity, whether it be your physical integrity, your mental, emotional integrity, it's like putting boundaries. You have to defend yourself. You have to say, you know what, here, no, no, you cannot pass through, you know. So I guess that's the message for today. I know it's bad. I know a lot of people is suffering, but we can only change ourselves, and we can advocate for what is just. We can advocate for what is good, and do our best. I mean, like, if we want change into the world, then let's become that change without violence, without the necessity of being right. I think a lot of the conflicts that are going on right now is because people just want to be right. They don't care about the other, they just care about being right. So for example, this war in Iran, you know, it's funny because like while the Israel and Gaza war was going on, everybody was like, oh, free Palestine and all that, the queers for Palestine and the feminists for Palestine, and everybody is for Palestine. But then who spoke for the people that was murdered and was raped, and going even beyond that, like creating, like going to create conspiracy theories about like, no, but they allow this to happen, or that never happened, or this or that. Let's open our eyes. Same thing with Iran, you know. The Iranian people have been oppressed for a long time. They don't want this anymore, and the moment they spoke up, everybody was quiet. And the people in Yemen that are basically being held hostage but by a bunch of people that they don't care about them, they just care about being right. They want to be right in what they think, in their hatred, in their interpretation of a religious text. That has to stop. That has to stop, because we live in a world that we're roughly 8 million people? No, billion people, or probably 9 at this point. And we have to find a way to get along and to respect each other. And you know what? Okay, maybe I don't think this in the same way as you, or I don't feel the same way about a certain thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I will impose my view on you. Yes, society has to have certain rules, but ideally we can all find a safe space in which we can be respectful to each other, compassionate towards each other, to have that little empathy, and to believe in the higher good, and to say, well, you know what, I may not agree with you. I may be seeing that you are making a mistake in my point of view, or well, some mistakes are very clear, right? Like they don't really have to be categorized as mistakes just because you think that. So, for example, like if I drink too much and I go through the path of self-destruction, well, of course, that's kind of like, I wish someone came and told me, you know what, like, I care about you, like, why are you doing this? Can I help you in some way? Instead of the recrimination and all these mind-blowing things that are going on right now. That I also see a lot in the internet, like people attacking people just for the sake of the clicks and the likes, and that's how you grow this division. And I have the feeling that we personally, singularly as people, and let alone as a society, as a species, we cannot advance if we keep on this hating against each other. We have to embody that which we want to see. So if you want peace, be peaceful. If you want righteousness, then do your best and live by the virtues, live by the things that you hold sacred, and especially do it when nobody's looking. Because yeah, it's easy to be spiritual, for example, when one is locked in the top of a mountain in Nepal, or like a spiritual retreat in a monastery in Thailand or the Philippines. Yeah, it's easy. That's super easy, because you just isolate yourself and then that's it. But the real work is here. So my question is, are you loving and courageous enough to do that work? I hope so. I really do. And well, I wish you a wonderful day. Sit on it, feel it in your heart. Your heart always knows.